Teacher is seen as a facilitator of learning, gives minimum supervision, and students in their groups would engage each other and come up with, effective group discussions, feedback, and we really appreciated that. Then we also took an opportunity to participate in reforestation where we planted some trees. I also managed to plant a tree and I named it Moyo because that's my name. It means heart. So thank you very much. That's my experience. I really appreciate it. May I thank the Honorable Minister from Rwanda for the opportunity and also to thank our partners who have facilitated these movements. Thank you so much.
We always have a positive image of Rwanda. That's a very beautiful and clean, green city. But my first point of intervention might be a bit different from what we were saying, but it is linked to education. What I observed is a very clean school environment. Even the gutters are clean. I was expecting to see maybe something, because we are talking about gutters. You would expect to see something inside and so on, but it's very, very clean. So it means that the learning environment really participate in the education, the cognitive development of the student. And that is very, very fundamental. Number two, yesterday we did talk about school feeding programs and so on and so forth. We have sessions on that. Yes, we went theoretical. Today we saw the practical aspect of it. You see, we saw the food, and from, as my colleague, Honorable Minister rightly said, from the local food that we have and here, so that's what is proposed. But next to that, you have the garden, not too far from also the kitchen. Then the other thing also is, they anticipated that you are dealing with kids. So some of them will be sick here and there and so on and so forth. So you need to have a place where, when some of them are not okay, you will be able to isolate them. A very conducive room where they can be isolated. In fact, somewhere I said that was my best place. It's a sleeping room or something like that. So in essence, Honorable Minister, we want to thank you for really understanding the relevance of education, that it has a social dimension, but it also has the economic dimension, as we discussed, to really develop the economy and the nation. So I want to thank you for giving us this opportunity. And when we go back to our respective countries, we will learn from the Rwandan school, the Rwandan experience, and change the education trajectory in our country. Thank you.
I just first want to say Rwandan children are so beautiful, so much fun, so full of life. Just being in the classrooms with them and the way they welcomed us and high-fived us, it was just so heartwarming. So just experience that tremendous warmth and beauty of childhood here. I would like to pick on the visit to the Early Childhood Development Center and bring it back then to the reason that we are gathered here for Flex. So the visit to the Early Childhood Development Center really amplified or exemplified how a system is built in the three components. The first, the demand side, which is so important for services, and Minister Kone just touched upon it. On the demand side, what we found was not only was the center established close to where the families were relocated due to the hazardous conditions where they were living earlier, but the very nominal contribution that they made to the service had a sense of ownership and had a sense of building into the program. And we know demand is so important, especially for young children, because it's so precious to parents and families what happens to their children. Second is the program or the service side. That's the next layer of a system. And honestly, it was like a textbook has come into reality. When we saw the coordination and the confluence of the early learning, the nutrition, the water sanitation, the child protection, all of those elements came together in a very harmonious, congruous way to provide what children need best to develop. And finally, at the highest level of a system, it's the governance. And the fact that the governance of these early childhood centers sits with the local governance of the district is terrific, because that's the part where you get the coordination for services occur. So at all levels, this model demonstrated the way the system works and the ability to deliver quality. So I want to bring that back now to here, to Flex. Honorable Minister of Rwanda, we were just recalling at the visit, it was about 12 years ago or so, Rwanda embarked on the work of building these early childhood centers, the vision of the First Lady, the idea of the government. And I remember in those early days being here in the support and seeing what happens with political will and commitment, seeing that within a decade, children in this country are getting the best start to life. Seeing that within this decade, the government has galvanized a model, a program that fits the needs of the children, of the population, and responds to the evidence-based approaches that make a strong delivery. It was really fantastic to see. So I have a lot of hope. We are gathered here today on a similar process. We are embarking once again to address a significant situation with a solution in hand, an evidence-based solution in hand. If we follow the example of this evidence-based model and we take the commitment forward to eliminate learning poverty, I do believe that what we are doing here together with this manner of being very deliberate in how we want to go forward, it is going to make a difference. So congratulations to the ministry. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for exposing us to something so fantastic, and it was really quite a joy to be there. So thanks very much.
J'ai été émerveillé par la visite que j'ai faite en compagnie d'autres collègues et surtout du ministre de l'Éducation du Rwanda dans 2 établissements. Je voudrais insister sur la visite dans le premier établissement qui accueille les tout-petits, comme on les appelle. Des petites pousses qui sont de grosses promesses pour l'avenir, parce qu'elles sont dans des infrastructures de très grande qualité. Et j'ai retenu quelque chose au niveau, comme disent les littéraires, au niveau métaphorique.
Yesterday, even since Monday, because I had the opportunity to attend the side event on Monday, a number of them, and to see stakeholders engage in some of the issues that are common to many of our countries, but in the same time, some of the innovative solutions that came out of the discussion that we had last week. So, honorable ministers, and starting from the Minister of Rwanda and ministers for several countries, participants, development partners, it has been such an enriched opportunity for all of us to come together as part of this flex, to learn from each other, but also, more importantly, to see how we can actually pave the way for more engagement, for more actions towards achieving better, achieving more in our different countries. I think somebody was talking about yesterday when we had a ministerial dialogue, was saying much as we can actually be pleased for some of the achievement, but there's still always a way of improving. We still need more and more to come. And we can only achieve it through partnership. This is what I'm actually taking away. Partnership is so important. There's no room for competition. There's room for collaboration. There's room for engagement. There's an opportunity, as they said, to learn, as each and every day is an opportunity to learn. So let's keep this momentum moving forward. I was happy yesterday to announce, having spoken to the Minister of Malawi, that the next flex is going to be in Lilongwe. So that's really a good thing already. Now, how are we going to build this momentum towards Malawi? This is going to require a number of interactions. It's going to be required a number of actions taking place in the different countries involved, even those ones that could not make it. The recommendations, the resolutions that my colleague is going to be reading right now will actually guide us on specific actions from countries, from partners, and how we join our efforts to improve foundational learning. To me, that's really fundamental. If there is a single reason to meet again next year, let's make sure actually we make progress so that we can report back on how much we're able to achieve. Again, let me thank you. I'm not going to take too much of your time. I would like to thank everyone, especially those ones that have played really a critical role for this meeting to take place, for this convening to take place. They are not visible here. Some of them are outside, but I want to congratulate them for having done such a great work. There are a number of partners beyond the ones that supported this event. There's a Ministries of Education of Rwanda, but there are a number of individuals that provided support, being financially, being technical, and the number of speakers, rapporteurs, moderators that made this event such a successful convening. So, thank you again to everyone, and looking forward to Malawi. But from now to Malawi, there's so much that we need to do. And we are here as ADEA, as partners, a number of partners here. Let's continue our collaboration. Let's make sure that we can deliver on promise. And the demand is so huge on us. Thank you so much again. So, MC, if you allow me, may I call upon Dr. Jacqueline? She can come and read the resolution. And then the resolutions, I'm sure some of you have had an opportunity to go through. We're not taking...
Honorable Ministers, Heads of Delegation, Development Partners, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Good afternoon. I am honored to read the Flex 2024 Declaration for Action. Please feel free to follow using the script on the screen. Flex 2024 Declaration for Action. Moving from commitment to action in foundational learning across Africa. We, the Ministers of Education from Angola, Cote d'Ivoire, Eritrea, Eswatini, Ethiopia, Ghana, Liberia, Mali, Malawi, Rwanda, Sao Tome and Principe, Seychelles, Sierra Leone, Somalia, South Sudan, Tanzania, the Gambia, Uganda, Zambia, Zanzibar, and Zimbabwe, and heads of delegation from Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Central African Republic, Comoros, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Kenya, Lesotho, Mozambique, Namibia, Senegal, and Togo, present at the 2024 Africa Foundational Learning Exchange, Flex 2024, in Kigali, Rwanda, hereby collectively commit to ending learning poverty in Africa by 2035. We further affirm our commitment to improving foundational learning for every child on the continent, together with the Africa Union, Association for the Development of Education in Africa, ADEA, the World Bank, UNICEF, Hempel Foundation, USAID, and all development partners represented at FLEX 2024. Foundational learning is the basis for all future learning and economic empowerment. It ensures that our children are equipped with the literacy, numeracy, and essential skills such as character building, problem solving, and social and emotional skills to develop, learn, and contribute to the social and economic development of the continent. It is therefore critical to position foundational learning as a pivotal strategy for long-term prosperity, peace, and security across Africa, thereby contributing to achievement of universal quality education, a key aspect of the Continental Education Strategy for Africa, CESA, and the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 4. We acknowledge the commitments that African countries have made through policy reforms, increased budget allocation, and implementation of evidence-based approaches that support foundational learning since the 2023 Human Capital Heads of State Summit in Dar es Salaam, the 2023 ADEA High-Level Dialogue Policy Forum on Foundational Learning in Lusaka, the 2023 Foundational Learning Exchange in Sierra Leone, and the Africa Union Mid-Year Summit in Accra, Ghana in July 2024. The World Bank's estimate of 21 trillion USD in global lost productivity if we do not improve learning outcomes compels us to act now. We know that for every year of education we provide a child, we can enhance their future earning potential by 8 to 10% and contribute to future global productivity gains of up to 6.85 trillion USD. To build on the progress made thus far and continue the momentum from the FLEX 2024, we commit to undertake the following actions. 1. Enhance inter-country collaboration on foundational learning. This will be done by A, expanding and strengthening the leadership role of the Africa Foundational Learning Ministerial Coalition to include technical ministry personnel and developing a clear strategy to engage political leaders. B, fostering cross-border collaboration, building stronger partnerships, facilitating collaborative research, and adapting shared practices to individual country contexts. 2, adapt, integrate, and scale evidence-based approaches to improve foundational learning outcomes, including provision of high-quality early childhood education, structured pedagogy, teaching at the right level TAL, and learning through play. These will be accompanied by investment in school governance and systems, teacher training, mentoring and coaching, adequate teaching and learning materials, and strong country-level monitoring and assessment structures. 3, enhance the production and utilization of quality data, evidence, assessment, and accountability mechanisms. It is important to, 1, strengthen education management management information systems, EMIS, to leverage evolving technologies such as artificial intelligence. 2, implement systemic reforms to ensure foundational learning is prioritized at the system level and links to practices at the classroom level. 3, develop an African Common Assessment framework to enable countries to implement proficiency standards for monitoring foundational learning outcomes. 4, improve learning assessment processes at the foundational level to include literacy, numeracy, language, and social-emotional skills. 5, strengthen country, regional, and continental accountability mechanisms using available accountability tools. 4, accelerate impact through intentional and efficient spending of country resources on evidence-based approaches with a focus on scalable and cost-effective interventions. 5, increase coordination and integration of partner initiatives in foundational learning at country level to eliminate duplication and maximize efficiency in resource utilization. We collectively endorse the Africa Union's call to declare a decade of education for the continent. Foundational learning needs to be prioritized and embedded within the continent's development strategy over the long term. To support this, we confirm that the Africa Foundational Learning Exchange will be held annually. We will strive to integrate African heads of state in the dialogue to ensure strong leadership towards improving the salience of foundational learning across Africa. Made on this 13th day of November 2024.
Honorable Ministers of Education from across the African continent, delegates from ministries of education and other visiting government officials, development partners, civil society organization represented, good afternoon. I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all distinguished guests, ministers, and partners who joined us for these impactful 3 days. Your dedication and contribution have enriched this event. I think you would all agree with me that we have learned from each other, we have exchanged ideas, and we leave here convinced that indeed it is possible to solve this challenge that is before us. Over these three past days, we have shared invaluable insight, strategies, and vision to tackle foundational learning challenges across Africa. Your active participation has made the dialogue both meaningful and transformative. In closing, let us remember each other that our work extends beyond these sessions. Together, we are laying the foundation for a future in which every African child has access to quality education. I call upon my fellow ministers to join me in ending learning poverty in a coming decade. Let us make this our shared priority, working together and learning from one another to achieve this goal. It is possible. We are thankful for our partners who have supported this initiative and contributed to making Flex 2024 a success. Your commitment to the foundational learning is inspiring. I would be remiss if I didn't thank the organizers, those that my colleague Albert mentioned, who are the invisible hand that makes all this run. I take the moment and I ask you again to join me in thanking them for their work. I want us to remember that what we've heard here, what we have seen here, what we discuss through these 3 days, what we heard from all the speakers should invigorate us, should re-energize us to make sure that we leave here with that dedication and commitment. And we go forth as the young child that spoke yesterday to move towards less talking and more action, as she said. So let us work together to indeed make a difference that our children will feel and their children would benefit from. I would like to wish you all safe travels as you leave and returning to your home, your respective countries. Thank you once again for your commitment to Africa education journey. And with that, I have the honor and the privilege to not only thank you, but also declare this summit closed. Thank you.